It was the moment Dodgers fans had dreamed of since the confetti first fell in 2024. The Los Angeles Dodgers, fresh off their triumph the previous year, entered the 2025 season with an unmistakable target on their backs. Every team wanted to dethrone them, every hitter wanted to break their arms, and every crowd wanted to silence that royal blue pride. But from the very first game of the season, one thing became clear: this wasn't a team satisfied with one championship. This was a dynasty in the making. The journey began in spring training under the Arizona sun, where the buzz around the team felt different. Shohei Ohtani, now fully recovered and more explosive than ever, looked like a man on a mission. Mookie Betts brought his leadership to every huddle. Freddie Freeman's calm veteran presence balanced the locker room, and Yoshinobu Yamamoto, the Japanese ace who had taken MLB by storm, was sharper, more composed, and more dominant than in his rookie season. The Dodgers didn't just want to repeat. They wanted to make history. By mid-season, it became clear that the Dodgers weren't just playing baseball, they were performing art. Ohtani's bat turned every at-bat into a spectacle. His majestic home runs sent crowds into chaos, while his presence at the plate felt like a movie scene unfolding. Betts' consistency and clutch moments kept the team alive in close games. Freeman was the quiet assassin, his RBI totals climbing effortlessly. And Yamamoto. He became the talk of both America and Japan. His splitter and fastball combination carved through lineups like a sword through silk. The turning point of the regular season came during a tense series against the Braves, the same team that had haunted LA in recent postseasons. It was late August, playoff energy in the air. Game 1, Yamamoto threw a complete game shutout, striking out 11, while Ohtani smashed a two-run blast into the right field pavilion. Game 2, Betts hit a walk-off double, his scream echoing through Dodger Stadium. The sweep over Atlanta wasn't just another win, it was a statement that this team was ready for October. When the postseason arrived, there was no fear, no hesitation. The Dodgers looked like a well-oiled machine. The wild card and division series passed with ease, but it was the National League Championship Series where they faced their greatest test, a surging New York Mets squad led by a red-hot Francisco Lindor. Every inning was a battle. Yamamoto's precision met Lindor's fire. In Game 5, with the series tied 2-2, Ohtani stepped up in the ninth inning with 2 outs and a man on second. The count was 2-2. The crowd was on its feet. And then, crack, a laser line drive into the right field corner. Dodgers walked it off. The roar could be heard across the city. That moment turned the tide. The Dodgers took Game 6 in commanding fashion, riding a 7-inning gem from Tyler Glasnow. The champagne flowed in the clubhouse, but the veterans reminded everyone, we're not done yet. The World Series awaited. Their opponents, the Baltimore Orioles. A young, fearless team with energy, speed, and swagger. The perfect final test for a Dodgers team chasing legacy. Game 1 opened under the bright Los Angeles lights. Yamamoto took the mound, calm and collected, while Ohtani waited in the dugout, his bat resting against his shoulder. The first pitch, a 98 miles per hour fastball, signaled that the Dodgers meant business. Yamamoto dominated, striking out 9 over 7 innings, while Ohtani's 2-run shot in the 5th inning sent Dodger Stadium into delirium. The Dodgers took Game 1, 5-2. But Baltimore wasn't backing down. Game 2 turned into a slugfest. Gunnar Henderson and Adley Rutschman put pressure on the Dodgers early, and for the first time, LA looked shaken. Yet in the bottom of the 8th, with the game tied 6-6, Mookie Betts launched a no-doubt home run that disappeared deep into the night sky. His grin as he rounded the bases was pure electricity. The Dodgers took a 2-0 series lead. Game 3 shifted to Camden Yards, and the atmosphere was intense. Baltimore fans packed the stadium in orange, determined to fight back. Glasnow, however, was ruthless. His fastball command was surgical. Ohtani went 3 for 4, including a double that cleared the bases in the 6th. The Dodgers cruised to a 7-3 win. One win away from glory. Then came Game 4, the clincher. The night was thick with tension. Baltimore threw everything they had, and for the first time in weeks, Yamamoto looked human. The Orioles jumped to a 3-0 lead by the 4th inning. But the Dodgers weren't done. In the top of the 7th, Freeman doubled to left center, scoring Betts. Then, with 2 on and 1 out, Ohtani stepped in. The crowd held its breath. The first pitch, a hanging slider. And he didn't miss. A towering home run to right center, his most iconic of the year. The Dodgers took a 4-3 lead they would never surrender. As the final out was recorded, a high fly ball drifting into Betts' glove, time seemed to stop. Freeman threw his hands into the air. Yamamoto hugged his catcher. Ohtani smiled, looking up at the sky as fireworks exploded above. The Dodgers had done it. Back-to-back World Series champions. In the clubhouse, champagne sprayed in every direction. Music blasted. The energy was indescribable. Reporters scrambled for interviews, and Ohtani, drenched in champagne, simply said, "This is why I came here. To make history." The Japanese media erupted in celebration, broadcasting his words across the world. In Tokyo, crowds gathered outside big screens in Shibuya, chanting his name. For Freeman, it was validation, years of hard work, consistency, and leadership paying off. For Betts, it was another jewel in his crown, proving he could still perform at the highest level. And for Yamamoto, it was destiny fulfilled, a young pitcher from Japan conquering the biggest stage in baseball in just 2 seasons. The parade down Sunset Boulevard was a sea of blue. Fans lined the streets, waving flags and wearing jerseys with 17, 50, and 18 printed proudly. Ohtani stood atop a float, holding the commissioner's trophy, smiling as chants of MVP filled the air. Children on their parents' shoulders shouted his name, while Freeman and Betts danced to music booming from the speakers. As the sun set on that unforgettable day, one truth remained: this Dodgers team wasn't just great. They were historic. They had faced pressure, expectation, and the weight of legacy, and still rose above. From Yamamoto's brilliance on the mound to Ohtani's poetic dominance at the plate, every moment was crafted for greatness. The 2025 Dodgers weren't simply champions. They were the embodiment of resilience, unity, and power. And as they lifted the trophy once more, the baseball world watched in awe, knowing that history had just been written, in Dodger blue. Across the country, even rival fans had to admit it: what the Dodgers accomplished was something special. A team filled with stars who played not for ego, but for each other. Their chemistry, their balance, their heart, it all came together perfectly. And as the offseason began, whispers spread through the league: could they do it again? No one knew the answer, but one thing was certain: as long as Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, and Yamamoto wore Dodger blue, the dynasty wasn't just alive. It was thriving. The 2025 highlight reel wasn't just a collection of plays. It was the story of domination, redemption, and unity that only champions could write. And somewhere in that locker room, beneath the champagne-soaked jerseys and the shining trophy, the Dodgers' next chapter was already being imagined. A new goal, a new season, and perhaps, another chance to prove that greatness isn't a moment. It's a legacy.